Getting a sales job is never an easy thing to do, honestly. Especially these days when you hear about layoffs pretty much left and right across every single industry. And even if there is a job listing, the chance of getting it is razor thin due to the number of people competing for just the exact same position. However, even though it may seem like it, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a proven strategy to getting your dream job, even in times like this where it seems nearly impossible. And look, I'm talking from experience because this is the exact 4-step process I used to land an account executive position at Salesforce at the peak of the tech layoffs we just experienced recently, so my strategies are battle tested. The key to understanding this technique is to stop trying to win the rat race and instead create a situation where you're the only choice. So let's start with what most people do, and that's what I call the red ocean method. Now picture this for a second. Picture a sea filled with sharks all fighting for the same scraps of meat. That's the job market on LinkedIn and on job boards. Hundreds of resumes pour into this one single role. The odds pretty slim. You're not just competing with 10 or 20 people. You're battling with 200 or more, all vying for the same position. And honestly, the process is just brutal. First, you tailor your resume hoping it hits the right keywords. Then you wait, days turn into weeks, and if you're lucky, you might snag an interview. But even then, you're walking into an uphill battle, interview after interview. You're one of many still, and you're trying to stand out in a crowd that all looks pretty much the same type of qualified person. And look, I said no gloom and doom, but here's the truth. This method is designed to make you feel powerless. It's reactive, not proactive. You're at the mercy of hiring managers who may never even see your application in the first place. And what happens when you don't get the job? You start all over again. Now that sounds like a nightmare to me. But it's not all hopeless, my friends. Here is the key. You don't have to play this game. There's another way, a way that puts you in control and clears the water so you can eat whatever meat you want. Back to our shark analogy. It's called the blue ocean strategy. Okay, so let's talk about the blue ocean strategy, a game changer for anyone tired of swimming in circles in this competitive, crowded job market. Now, instead of our shark analogy from earlier, imagine a calm, clear sea, free from the insanity and free from the competition. That's the kind of space we're creating here. Instead of chasing job postings on LinkedIn and random websites, and competing against hundreds of applicants, you're designing your own opportunity tailored to your dream role at your dream company. Now, it sounds like a fantasy, I know, right? But follow me here for a second because it's very real. I've done it myself. And salespeople are uniquely positioned to leverage this approach. Now, here is how it works. The blue ocean strategy focuses on reaching out to the companies where a job officially doesn't exist yet. Instead of waiting for a random job listing, you're identifying the companies you'd love to work for, target their decision makers, and sell them on why they need to get you on their team. This proactive approach isn't just bold, it's incredibly effective. And here's the main reason why. First, you eliminate the competition. Since there's no official job posting, you're not fighting against hundreds of other sales reps. It's just you and a decision maker. This exclusivity gives you a massive edge over the entire market. This means no automated systems, no resume black hole, just a direct, impactful conversation. Second, you define the role. In the typical job search, you're trying to fit into someone else's mold. But with the blue ocean strategy, you can shape the job to match your strengths, preferences, and even your career goals. Do you want to roll with flexible hours or more responsibility? This is your chance to just ask for it. Third, we get into this, and this is this. Follow me for a second. You demonstrate your value up front. And look, here's the beauty of it. You're showing your sales skills right out of the gate. By reaching out directly, you're providing your ability to prospect, pitch, set up meetings, and finally close the deal, which is you getting hired for the job. That's exactly what every hiring manager would love to see. It's like giving them a sneak peek of what you're about to do before you even get hired. And of course, fourth, you leverage your position. Since the company isn't actively hiring for this specific role, They're not comparing you to a list of other candidates. This puts you in a stronger negotiating position for pay, for benefits, and other perks, pretty much name it. The blue ocean strategy isn't just about finding a job, it's about creating the perfect job for yourself. You're not just another applicant, you're the person that the company didn't even realize they need, but now they loved that they found you. It's almost like they're winning, not you. And let me tell you something, that kind of positioning changes everything. Now, look, I know you're thinking, well, Liam, this sounds a little bit too good to be true. Can I actually pull it off? And look, there's always doubts in life, but don't worry, I've got you covered. Next, we'll break down exact step by step what you need to do to identify your target companies, connect with the decision makers, and craft a message so compelling, honestly, they can't ignore it. So if you're ready to dive in, let's get straight into the details. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of making the blue ocean strategy work for you. Now, look, it all starts with prospecting. And if you've ever prospected for a sales deal or a sales company, you already have the skills to crush this process. The twist is that instead of selling a product or service, you're selling, you guessed it, yourself. Start by identifying, let's say, 10 companies you'd love to work for. Now, think of this as your dream team. Look for organizations that align with your values, offer the kind of work that you would like to do, in the type of environment that you would like to be in, the culture that you want to be a part of. But don't just stop at the company name. I want you to dig a little bit deeper, and please do not get lazy on this. It will pay in the long term. I want you to identify 2 teams within each company that you love to just absolutely join. The more specific you are, the better. Next, use LinkedIn or let's say your network to uncover the key players. It's just to give you a hint, it's usually going to be some type of sales manager or VP or maybe even a director. These are the people who call the shots, and they're the ones that you need to reach out to in order to form the proper connections. And look, don't waste your time. Don't reach out to somebody in HR or someone who can't help you in any way or make an actual decision. You're aiming for the top, where your pitch will actually land on the ears that can hire you. Now, my friends, here's where the magic happens. Prospect these decision makers just like you would a high value lead at a sales role. You can use a multi-platform approach: email, LinkedIn, email messages, and even the cold call. Yes, the cold call. To grab their attention and show them why they need to talk to you is super powerful and is something you have to do. And if you're unsure of how to craft that killer outreach message, this is where the Selling Made Simple book comes in handy. It's literally packed with step-by-step advice on prospecting, building rapport, and closing the deals. The techniques in this book are literally perfect for landing your dream job as well. Remember, your outreach is not about begging for a job. That never works. It's about showing the hiring manager the value that you can bring to their team. Your message should highlight your track record, showcase, let's say, specific knowledge or achievements that you have, and hint at how you can solve their team's biggest pains and problems. This process has literally worked time and time again for literally hundreds of sellers inside the salesman.com academy, and is what, honestly, I personally used to land every single dream job in sales I've ever had. And also remember, end every conversation or message with a clear call to action, just like you would in sales. Whether it's, let's say, scheduling a meeting, sharing more details about your experience, or discussing how you can contribute to their team. Make it easy for them to just simply say yes. And lastly, I know this sounds simple, but follow up. Persistence is absolutely key. When you approach this process like a sales campaign, you're not just another name in the pile of job applicants. You are actually standing out by showing what you're going to do once you get hired. Now, by now, you might be wondering, Liam, why does this approach work so well? And if you're wondering, stick around to the very end, because I'm going to show you exactly why this strategy gives you an unbeatable edge and how it sets you apart in the hiring manager's eye. Now, here's the beauty of the Blue Ocean strategy. It's not just innovative. It's literally tailor-made for sales professionals. Just think about it for a second. What's the core skill in sales? Well, it's prospecting, it's pitching, and it's closing. And what are you doing? you're prospecting, you're pitching, and you're closing. It's literally like if you were a singer and this was your live audition for your dream band. Now, let's get into some reasons as to why this is the case. Reason number one, you're demonstrating your sales skills. When you reach out to the decision maker directly, you're doing exactly what they're hiring you to do. You're showing that you know how to identify key stakeholders, craft compelling messages, and initiate meaningful conversations. Essentially, you're proving that you're not just a candidate. They're witnessing you in action. They're seeing you fly. They're seeing you in the very motion of the thing that they want to hire you for. Reason number two, look, hiring managers are always looking for talent. And here's a secret. Sales quotas never go down. Trust me. And managers are always on the hunt for top talent to meet their growing demands. And even if there's no formal job opening, a strong candidate, someone like you, can push them to create one for you. By demonstrating initiative and value up front, you're pretty much making it easy for them to just say yes. Reason number three, you avoid the competition. With no job posting to attract hundreds of applicants, you're essentially in a one-of-one conversation with the hiring manager. This exclusivity eliminates the need to outshine dozens of other candidates and position you as a top-tier talent and prospect for them. Reason number four, you leverage a multi-platform approach. Most sales managers aren't bombarded with cold outreach from job seekers. They're insulated from the common tactics sellers use in the day-to-day of being in a sales job. So when you employ a multi-touch strategy using email, LinkedIn, and even more strategic, if you just get on the phone, you're standing out in a way that catches their attention. You're not just applying for a job, you're creating a lasting long-term impression. Reason number five, it's a win-win. This strategy isn't just about you, it's about solving a problem for them. By showing how your skills can help their team achieve their targets, streamline their processes, and even expand their market reach, you're essentially aligning your value with their goals. That's what makes this method so powerful. It's not about convincing them to take a chance on you. It's about showing them that they can afford not to get you. So sales friends, there you have it. If you're ready to take control of your sales career and land the job you deserve, why not start crafting your dream job list today? And hey, if you found value in this, click the video on the screen right now for more tips to dominate in sales. Now, please don't just settle, create the career you want. So let's make it happen.